Are we really gonna sit here and pretend that Martin did not try to spare Onyeka? This man really said, you know what? I'm not gonna scam her. I'm gonna let her go. I'm gonna let her off the hook. This man was prepared to leave with his friend, but no. She was like, you know what? Let me get you guys Instagram. And he didn't want to be rude, so he's like, okay, cool. Then he invites her to Monaco. He's just trying to have a good damn time with a gorgeous lady. And she's like, oh, and by the way, here's my number. He's like, oh my God. Yay, thank you. I've been waiting for you to give me this, although I have never asked for your number. Then, boom, Monaco happens. While she's there, she decides to tell him, I love you, while crying. And then, next thing you know, her ass falling down a flight of stairs. I think he sprinkled a little dust in her drink. At this point, he's like, surely she's gonna want to get away from me because you never had seizures before. You passing out. Clearly, it's me. But no, instead of saying, this never happened to me before, now all of a sudden with this man, and this is happening, he did something to me. No, instead of that, she said, I love you too. Fast forward, they on the phone. He complaining about something he need to pay for, something his rental place owed him. And he's telling her like he missing the money, and she keeps offering it to him. He's like, no, I don't want your money. Homegirl not taking no for an answer. So he finally said, you know what? I don't need 10,000. I only need 6. And she was like, okay, let me give it to you. And he said, promise me that this will be the only time and you're okay with giving me this money. She said, yes. Fast forward. He tells her some very easily Googleable information. He tells her that he was an Olympian and that he like a part of the royal family. And he's like, surely she's gonna Google this shit and realize I'm a fraud. I really don't want to scam this girl, but she's making it a little too easy for me, and I'm having a hard time not scamming her. She just wouldn't catch the hint. But by this time, he's already pulled in. He's like, you know what? I really tried to spare her. I didn't want to do it to her, but F it. This is an easy target. Let me run it up.
So, this is one of many examples of Black women who are actually defending the Danish man, the man who allegedly conned Onyeka and basically families internationally through gambling scams, defending him, defending his character, defending his actions, his reputation. And honestly, I was actually quite surprised at the way Black women were going out of their way to really come down hard and drag, roast, castigate Onyeka from the Danish deception. I mean, a lot of these ladies were just outright insulting her, calling her all kinds of pick-me's, saying that she was just, male identified, white male identified. And I was initially surprised. I thought that she was going to have a lot more female support and specifically a lot of support from Black women, given that she's an attractive, fit Black girl, one who could definitely qualify for the colorism, featureism, texturism club. And I did not anticipate the level of scrutiny and the level of disdain that she was receiving primarily from Black women. But after I had a chance to sit down and think about it, I realized that it actually made perfect sense. It makes perfect sense that Black women would come down hard, that they would completely and totally cancel her. And it really goes all down to one reason. Onyeka is spoiling the white male image by her sharing her story and exposing this man of being an alleged criminal. She is completely challenging the notion of the mythical, magical white man who goes around and gives dark-skinned Black women the leveled up hypergamous life. And quite frankly, this is a dream and a fantasy that many Black women are not willing to give up easily. She is daring to challenge the white male image in the white male worship that many ladies hold as dear and sacred to their heart. And that's what I realized, that this sisterhood, this supposed sisterhood that ladies like to claim and use as a reason to basically bash Black men or bash women, Black women who fit outside of the colorism, featureism, texturism crew, or just whatever terms that they want to use to try to separate themselves. Um, this sisterhood is paper thin. It's paper thin because as soon as a woman steps outside of the hidden contract, as soon as she breaks the sister code, as soon as she says or does something that does not shine favorably on the sisterhood, then they're quick to cancel her. And what I find the most hypocritical about these ladies who are going out of their way to castigate Onyeka for being white male identified and white male centered is that many of these are the same group of lady who fantasize about Nicolandria. They are Nicolandria stands. I mean, literally just 2 months ago, you had black women going out of their way talking about being in their white boy era and how Nicolandria literally brainwashed their brain to now them wanting to be open to expanding their options to white men or at least wanting to go back into the white male phase. Like, I mean, black women were openly thirsting for white men. And so these are the same ladies, and this is the same cultural context of women who are now going to castigate and try to judge a black woman for doing what many black women promote doing, which is trying to get and secure a white man, preferably an influential white man. Although for some ladies, any white man will do. But nevertheless, we exist in a culture where black women have been thirsting for white men openly for decades now. For Onyeka to be castigated for doing what many black women have been promoting or secretly side-eyeing or secretly supporting now for decades to me is incredibly hypocritical because we don't exist among a culture of women who really have shown through their actions, through their words, and through what they support that they really care about Black progress. I mean, quite frankly, most women are just looking for the best deal for themselves. They want to find a man who can help them pay their bills. They want to find a man who can help give them a nice, comfortable life, put them in nice communities, give their children access to the best schools, and take them on vacations and give them the kind of lifestyle that is Instagram worthy. That is what most women want, including Black women. We don't exist among a culture of women who are very nationalistic or have a cultural or communal mindset. So this is why I find this entire situation hypocritical when I think about the amount of black women who are castigating Onyeka for doing what black women have promoted. But really what it shows me is that black women are willing to go against the sisterhood as soon as somebody in the sisterhood steps out of line, steps out of code. And the number one rule or one of the primary rules among the sisterhood is that you cannot castigate the white male image. You cannot go against the white male image. The white male image is something that you have to protect at all costs. Now, to be clear, you cannot go against the black male image. You can definitely castigate, insult, diminish, and demean black men. I mean, in fact, if the Danish deception was the Jamaican deception or the Nigerian deception or the black male deception, or just insert any black man from any country, any nation, and any place in this world. And if this entire story had been about a black man, then this conversation wouldn't even be happening because countless black women would have probably sided with her and would have just started sharing their toxic experiences with black men and how black men are untrustworthy and dusty, and they would not be scrutinizing her every word the way they are now. So it's okay to go against black male image, and it's okay to against black men, but white men, that is off code. And this is why in this entire nearly 30-part series where Onyeka went into detail in the ways that this Danish man scammed not only her, but her family and multiple close family and friends who were just trying to help him, this is why these women felt so much more comfortable castigating this woman, castigating her, just tearing her down in many different ways, but had little to no smoke for the white man. And in some instances, even defending the white man. And hear me out. I understand there are definitely aspects of the story that Onyeka said that just didn't, to me, just either they didn't make sense or it just seemed as if there is a huge part of the story that was not being told. So I do understand people looking at the story itself or looking at Onyeka with a critical eye because, we're no longer in the era of just believe all women. There's been a lot of women who have gone online, lied, and scammed. So I could understand that. But I am just saying, like, the way in which ladies were so quick to make excuses for a man who has allegedly, based upon Onyeka's based upon Onyeka's story, has allegedly been a criminal, a international con artist. Like, that to me is crazy. And it just shows me what really matters to these ladies, more so than anything. White male validation matters more than anything to the sisterhood. And if a woman thinks that she can get it, then she will do it. Another thing that I think is also not being addressed here is the jealousy. I think a lot of Black women are just ultimately jealous of Onyeka because she was able to actually live the kind of lifestyle, even if she was funding it and even if it was fake, she was able to at least front the kind of lifestyle that these ladies promote. Again, in this, Danish Deception series, she talked about going to multiple countries in a matter of 3 years. She mentioned Paris. They met in Croatia. She mentioned Budapest. She mentioned Colombia. She mentioned Nigeria. She mentioned even Brazil. She mentioned they traveled many places, obviously Denmark. So I think the very fact that she was able to travel in these different countries and did have receipts, she had pictures, she had images. I think also is just why some ladies are just perhaps jealous, not to mention that she had over $100,000 to ultimately loan to her ex, which means that she was probably in a really good financial position. And then lastly, I mean, she's fit, she's very fit and she's very athletic. And so already I just think Onyeka, her lifestyle is probably something that many women envy. And the fact that she was able to have some form of a relationship with a white man, even if it was fake, even if she was funding it, she was able to have some form of situation that was cohesive enough for her to be able to post about it on Instagram multiple times. A lot of ladies envy that. So I also think there's some jealousy going on here, definitely. But at the end of the day, like, this whole situation showed me that the sisterhood is paper thin and that there are ladies out there who are absolutely turn in a Black woman or they were turn on a Black woman in order to protect the great white male image. Because for some of these ladies, white male worship is a cult. It is their form of worship. It is their spirituality, and anybody and anything that goes against it, they will have to attack. Even if it's another Black woman who resembles them. Anyways, y'all, that's what I have. What do y'all think about this whole thing? Let me know down in the comment section. Thank you so much for listening if you've gotten this far, and we'll talk later. Bye.